What's good, Arsenal University? It's your boy Dro Laguna here, and I'm coming to you guys with my Europa League review of Arsenal v Sporting Lisbon de Portugal. Looking at a scoreless first half, 0-0. Not a lot to talk about as far as goal-wise, but there's quite a bit to talk about tactically and personnel. We came out in a 4-3-3 with Leno at the goalkeeper. Another game where Granit Xhaka at left back has me questioning, is there something wrong with Kolasinac, or maybe Emery doesn't rate Kolasinac? Because I know Kolasinac can be really good going forward, but sometimes is questionable defensively. Lichtsteiner was at right back, and we have Rob Holding and Socrates Papadopoulos. I said it right, Papadopoulos at center back. A midfield three of El Nini and Guendouzi as our deepest line playmaker, and our other midfielder is, what am I drawing a blank? Aaron Ramsey. Okay, I can't believe I forgot about Rambo as the other midfielder, with a front three of Welbeck, Aubameyang, and Mkhitaryan. The first thing that I really want to point out about this first half is thank God for our veterans. Thank God for Socrates and Lichtsteiner. Those two guys are like some old school bare knuckle brawlers, man. They know all the ins and outs, all the little tricks of the trade. I noticed how they would break up counterattacks from Sporting by, just bodying a guy off a ball, a little jersey tug here, even though that situation with Freddie Montero and Socrates, that goal scoring chance that Freddie Montero had, that could have ended up a whole lot differently than it did. It could have been carded for it, one of those stopping a goal scoring opportunity. And those guys should really be careful about Freddie Montero. I know a lot of people outside of the U.S. might not know about Freddie Montero, a Colombian. He kind of plays, he's a striker, but he's not your traditional striker. He's more of a false nine / room deuter. I know when he played for Seattle Sounders FC here in America, playing for in the MLS, he's the type of guy who's going to pop in and out of places. I know while he played for Seattle, he operated as a cam, so that's why I kind of, I'll acknowledge him as a false nine / room deuter. A guy's just going to pop in and out of different pockets. Like I said, we came out in a 4-3-3, but offensively it became a 3-2-5 with El Nini dropping back with Holding and Socrates, because you have Xhaka and Lichtsteiner pushing up, and those guys actually pushed up far enough to join the front three and becoming a 5 with Ramsey and Guendouzi as the two midfielders. And Guendouzi, man, every game the guy plays, I'm just more and more impressed with him, with both his tactical awareness and his skill, his ability to continuously keep possession and make positive plays that out of situations that would otherwise be negative. I'm also impressed with him, like I said, tactically, because his ability to communicate to guys where they should be and where he is in relation to other players in the ball. Socrates does a really good job as well. I believe that Socrates is a calming force within the team, and guys trust him while he's back there, versus, in my opinion, Mustafi, who can sometimes be a little erratic. Rob Holding, he looked really questionable in the last game against Leicester City. I had some questions about him, the handball situation, and he sometimes can get nervous. But this game, he looks a little bit more calmer. He's clearing the ball out of the box off a couple of crosses, and the dude stood up 90. I mean, you guys are pretty much familiar with 90, former winger at Manchester United. The guy has a couple of tricky moves up his sleeve. He's super silky winger, and he stood the guy up, man. I was super impressed with Holding and his calmness on the ball. There was a play where I saw him pick the ball up and as a center back and dribbled out of the back and made a pass, bypassed a pressing Sporting Portugal forward and passed the ball upfield. I was really impressed with that. And another big thing I noticed about this team is that when things aren't going our way, we aren't keeping our head down. We're keeping our head up, and we're actually working harder. When we make a mistake, we are actually jumping back to it and trying harder. It kind of reminds me, like, I don't know if you guys play video games, but you ever play like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, and you know you get 3 rounds, right? And so you playing against somebody and you absolutely just smoke the guy in the first round, right? And then the second round comes and you're like, whoa, this dude is like, whoa, you know, you're like one more punch from going into panic mode, but you fight your way back and end up winning the match. That's what I'm seeing from the team: the fight, the tactical awareness, and the ability to work hard. When a guy gets out of position and he gets beat, you literally see that guy the next play working hard. He's making a mental note of, hey, that guy beat me. He nutmegged me on that play. Mkhitaryan, when he got beat by Bruno Fernandes for a cross, you literally seen the next time Bruno Fernandes came down, you see Mkhitaryan is absolutely on him. I'm not sure how Mkhitaryan he presses better on the offensive side of the pitch versus the defensive side. I don't think he's not as good as Alex Iwobi or Danny Welbeck trekking back and getting into a really good defensive position. I don't think he does that as well, but he presses better on his side of the pitch. He had a couple of crosses, put in a couple of plays. Danny Welbeck, man, he might not score a goal every single time, but the fact that he works so hard and keeps pushing the ball, even when it's like there's no chance of there was a play where he comes down the wing and he's pushing so hard and running so hard. It's a play where Rich Govicki, the outside back from Sporting Portugal, got hurt. He pulled a hamstring. He made the guy pull a hamstring because how hard he was running down the wing. Even though there wasn't anybody to cross, that's still a threat. It still gives the defense something to talk about. Like, hey, it gives the defense something to think about. Like, hey, if I don't stay with Welbeck, he's going to beat me down the wing and whip in a sick cross. So he's going to beat me down the wing and cut back in and put a shot on goal. I was really impressed by that. And it's a nice mix of youthful skill with crafty veteranness. 0-0 at the half, but I'm super stoked and super excited to see what's going to happen in the second half. Hopefully we get a goal. Hopefully we make this 11 wins in a row. And Dro Laguna here, and I'll see you guys back in the second half, all right? What's good, Arsenal University? It's your boy Dro Laguna here, and I'm coming back with the second half and full game review of the Europa League match between Arsenal and Sporting Club de Portugal. And the game finished 1-0 with a goal from Welbeck, but I'll come back to that later. I want to go back to something that I noticed. I'm really starting to question, what does El Neni offer us in the squad? What does he offer in the midfield? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the guy because he does what he's supposed to do when he's supposed to do it. But other than that, he doesn't offer anything as far as being able to transition from from defense to offense, which is really weird because I remember when Arsenal first signed him, and a lot of his highlight videos, another YouTube highlight videos, but you saw him playing in a deep-lying midfield playmaker role and springing out passes. But we have other guys on the team that can do that. Granit Xhaka can do that better than El Neni can, and Guendouzi does that way better than El Neni can. I know there were 2 distinct passes where Guendouzi picked the ball up and he put a diagonal pass onto the wings. He's really, really good at that. I was really impressed with him. I like the way he commands the ball. I like the way he turns to the center backs and says, hey, give me the ball. The offense flows through me. I will generate some offense. And more to the El Neni fact, Emery pulled him and put in Lucas Torreira. And Lucas Torreira's pass to Aubameyang that he flicked on to Welbeck, I don't know, that flick on was kind of like, I want to say maybe Aubameyang got a stud on it, on that flick on that led to the Welbeck goal. And you see the Welbeck goal. I want you to remember that goal, how he took it. It's the same thing I tell my son when he's practicing. Pick a corner, smash it. And that's exactly what Welbeck did. He picked a corner and smashed it. I'm bringing that point up to contrast a point that I noticed about Aubameyang. And when I saw it during the game, it reminded me of his Dortmund days. Aubameyang likes to cut in from a wing. Either he's on the left going right, or he's on the right coming left. And when you do that, if very few times are you ever in the center of the goal to basically pick, when you're shooting, to pick a corner and finish it. So that causes Aubameyang to, like I said, either coming from the left and moving right, or coming from the right moving left. When he finally puts his shot on goal, he's out of place. He's not in the center of the goal where he can pick and choose his corner. He's usually on one side of the goal, and he's trying to place it over or around the goalkeeper. And if the goalkeeper has strong hands, like I give that the goalkeeper from Ribeiro, the goalkeeper from Sport, I give him credit. He saved Aubameyang's chance because, like I said, the shot doesn't have any power. It doesn't have any pace, and he's trying to place it. I noticed that he does that in a lot of games. A lot of the scoring chances he did miss throughout the season is because he's trying to place the ball versus just putting his head down, putting his foot through the ball, picking a corner and smashing it. And shout out to the triple OGs, to the old school vets, the crafty vets, the original gangsters of Socrates and Lichtsteiner. And in American sports, we had the Bash brothers with Canseco and Mark McGuire. You had the bad boy Pistons, real tough, real hard playing guys. And in hockey, we had the Broadway bullies of the Philadelphia Flyers. And I'm gonna come up with a name for Lichtsteiner and Socrates, man. Those two old school dudes, man. Like, if I was walking down a dark alley at night, man, I'm taking Socrates and Lichtsteiner with me. Those two guys, like, those two guys will ball their fist up and get into a bare knuckle fight with you, and put their back against the wall and fight with you. Socrates frustrated Freddie Montero, the striker from Sporting Lisbon. I know a lot of people might not rate MLS or have probably never seen Freddie Montero play, but when he played for the Seattle Sounders, he lit MLS up, and that was because his ability to, he's quick, he's fast, and he's crafty. His ability to play in between lines and play on the hips and shoulders of center backs and just sneak past them. And Socrates wasn't having any of it. The guy was just tough, hard, crafty, always put himself in a really good position to cut off anything that Montero was trying to do, to the point where Montero was so frustrated he started kicking out at people. And I can't remember if he picked up a card or not. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I was just super impressed with him, and I was really impressed with the craftiness of Lichtsteiner to know when to foul, how to foul. Because if you look at the yellow card that Holding picked up, and it's because I noticed this with Holding, and that's the reason why he got the handball against Leicester, and it caused him a lot of issues today, is that when Holding jumps, Holding uses his arms to propel himself through the air. So that constantly causes him to put his hands in bad positions, either for handballs and for that foul during the match where he puts his elbows up. He doesn't necessarily, he didn't even elbow the guy, but the fact that he had his elbows up behind the guy's back high, it looked like an elbow to the back of the head, or it looked like an elbow to the back. So that's why the foul was given. Versus if you look at Lichtsteiner, Lichtsteiner really hit the guy in the back of the head, but the movement of his elbow was a lot less noticeable with Lichtsteiner. If I want to compare it to something, I compare it to American football, when you have a wide receiver going against a defender and the ball's in the air, and the crafty wide receivers will get that slight nudge off, and they won't fully extend the arm having a penalty call against them. They'll just give them that slight nudge that a referee won't pick up on. And you saw that from Lichtsteiner. He knew when to go down. Even his craftiness in the box, he knows how to professionally, properly foul a guy. That's why me personally, I know Welbeck scored the goal. It was a well-taken goal, but I'm going to give man of the match / co-man of the match to Stefan Lichtsteiner and Socrates. You see where, I'll be honest with you, during the summer, I wasn't too thrilled about those two purchases, but those two guys we are getting way more bang for our buck with the purchase of those two guys, because they bring more than just the ability to play well. They bring their experience. You got to think about Lichtsteiner. He came from Juventus. This guy's pretty much spent his entire career playing European football and playing deep into European football tournaments. So the guy knows how to get a result, and that's exactly what we did. We got a result through the craftiness of those two guys. And this game was a proper way to show that sometimes you have to play ugly to play beautiful. I believe that for all sports. You have to do the ugly things so that the beautiful things work. The Fulham game, beautiful passing and well taken goals. The Leicester game, beautiful passing, well taken goals. This was a game where we literally dug out a result. I could say under Wenger, we probably would have lost this game. I'll be honest with you, I think we would have lost the game maybe 2-0. Uh, if not that, the game would have ended in a draw 0-0. Wenger would have been happy with that. But we actually kept fighting, kept pushing. Guys made mistakes, but guys fought back from them. And that's what, I put Rob Holding especially in that category. He's really hot and cold. Rob would do something spectacular that'll blow me away. And I'm like, man, like, he's everything I thought he could be. And then he'll make another, like, silly mistake. But I think, we all know defenders get better with age. And as he progresses in his career, I think he'll tighten those mistakes up. And like I said, we came in and we snatched that game out. We went in there and we pulled that game because that should have been a loss or a tie. And we went in and we took that game. And you can see not only the tactical implementations of Emery's system, I think you're seeing the psychological implementations of the team. You're seeing guys fight. You're seeing guys work hard. There was a play when Nani's on the right wing and he's cutting in on his left like he likes to do so he can put a shot on goal, and he cuts past a couple people, and then finally Terrell comes over and goes, he puts that fire out like, I'm tired of you, man. We're not going to keep playing this game. We're not going to play the cut-in game. Give me the ball. And took the ball off him and turned that into offense. I was, like I said, not a lot of goals, but I was super, super impressed and super proud of this win. I'm going to personally hang my hat on this win to see us moving forward. And I think we have Palace at the weekend, so I'm really looking forward to that game. I hope we don't have a drop-off. I know that wins in a row, this is win number 11. I know eventually sometime we might drop a point here or there, but I want to see how those guys react to the pressure of consecutive wins in a row. I want to see if we're going to have guys step up to the plate and accept the challenge and keep and prosper and grow from this, or guys going to crumble and ball up into the fetal position under the pressure. Thanks for viewing. Like I said, good win. I hope we could keep it up, and I'm really looking forward to the game this weekend.